What's going on, doozers? We are back with another redstone tutorial video, and if you have been watching any of the season 6 of the Hermit Craft series, you're going to recognize this from Mumbo Jumbo's starter base right off the bat. That's right, guys. It's the single wide bubble elevator. You stand on a pressure plate, and boom, that quick, you are up off the base, onto the ground, and then just a couple seconds later, right back in. Beautiful, elegant, sleek, and it's actually not that hard to make. So why don't we come right over and I will show you exactly what we're going to need. You are going to need 2 torches, 2 redstone comparators, 4 comparators and 2 repeaters. You're going to need a door. You're going to need a birch pressure. You're going to need a pressure plate. You're going to need some redstone dust, magma block, soul sand, 2 sticky pistons, a couple pieces of glass. This is optional. I use glass just because I like to see the door before I get there. You're going to need a bucket filled with water. You're going to need some kelp. The number of kelp is going to depend on how high up you're putting your build. You're going to need some stone, and you're going to need a pickaxe. Now, the stone, if you're 9 out of 10 times, you're probably building this inside of your base. And if that's the case, you're not going to need the stone because you're just going to be mining everything out. So this is more if you're going to be building this exactly the way I am. If you're going to be following along, you absolutely can. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we are going to need a tunnel all the way up and out. Okay? So again, it looks very similar to our animal breeders over there. It is a 3x3 block with your center hollowed out, and that's where our water elevator is actually going to be. Okay. Now from here, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take 2 pieces of glass. I'm going to put my glass in there, and I'm going to put a door in. Okay. This way, when I'm coming down the elevator, I can see through the glass. I can see what's going on in the base, but also I get to actually see that door in advance. That way I'm not going to be, hitting that magma block and taking damage. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pressure plate. Now, the pressure plate's going to do 2 things. The first thing it's going to do for me is it's going to open and close that door. That's very important. But more importantly, this pressure plate is also going to be what controls that. That's right. All of that. So let's get right into it. We are 1, 2, and 3 blocks away here. Now, a lot of the times you're going to be hopping down here. So if you're hopping down here, this is your water. This is your door. This is your pressure plate. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to bring this out just a little bit. Right like that. So now what we have is we are looking up at our door. Okay. From our door, this is where the magma block is going to sit right here. So we have to have room for a magma block, a piece of soul sand, and your sticky piston. So you're going to need a spot 3 down from where your doorway actually is. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in these sticky pistons. Well, we're going to need 1 piston there, and that one's going to face up. And that piston is going to get a piece of soul sand on it. The next one is going to be facing in this way. And that one's going to get your magma block. So again, here's where your waterway is right here. This is the last block the water is, and that's flush with your doorway. This magma block, when this piston is extended, will be sitting right here. So it's going to go piston, magma, soul sand, piston. All right. So we're going to put 1 block here. Now, again, if you're doing this in survival, you're probably going to have these blocks already there. You're not going to have to actually put them in. Unless you're trying to do elevators between floors of your giant mansion. And listen, bless you. So our next thing is we are going to put this 1 block right here underneath. So you're going to have this diagonal. Piston, magma, block, soul sand, piston. You're going to put your redstone torch right on that block. That's going to extend this piston, putting that magma block right in line. Okay? Right underneath that, we're going to drop a piece of redstone dust. We're going to break out this block here, and we are going to put in another redstone torch. Now, what we've done is we've effectively created a circuit that when this block gets power, this torch turns off, which turns off this redstone, which unlocks this torch. This torch turns on, which extends this piston. So what's going to happen is the redstone's going to hit, that's going to retract, the power is going to go around and come up. Okay? It's going to be like a big circle. It's learning your shapes with Diamond Doozer. So now what we're going to do is we have to get power over to this. Okay? So power over to this is real easy. And what we're going to do is we're going to build out a circuit just like this. So I told you that we're going to be taking it from that pressure plate. Well, so we're going to draw this circuit out here. So it should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a repeater. And you're going to bring that circuit right out the whole way. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your comparators. You're going to put 2 comparators facing this way. And you're going to put 2 comparators facing the other direction. So you're kind of making almost a clock. But what it's really going to be doing is it's just going to be slowing everything down. It's going to leave that open long enough for you to go up and then be able to come back down later on without, getting halfway up the tunnel and then it's starting to suck you back down again. We're going to put a single block there. So this circuit from that pressure plate is going to come this way to here. It's going to power these 2, which is going to power this block. That block is going to power this piece of redstone, which will power these. And it's going to power this piece of redstone. That is going to follow the circuit out here into a repeater on 3-tick delay. Okay, 1, 2, and 3-tick delay. That's the entire circuit built. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to pop up here. And look at that. Wait for it. Go. All right, there you go. So right there, you have about 20-ish seconds, which is normally just enough time to do whatever you got to do. So again, you can extend this out if you needed to. If you were a little bit, I think I've come to the distinct conclusion that I can't speak and type at the same time. If you were running a much larger tunnel, say it's, 40 or 50 or even 60, if you're going from bedrock up to 70, all that you have to do is extend out, add a couple extra comparators. So if you're finding that you need twice the time, add 2 more comparators facing to the left and 2 more facing to the right. Just keep making that line of comparators longer until you get the right number. Now, the reason I switched over to survival on this is because I needed to show that this is possible to do when you're playing in survival. So the next part of this is going to be creating the actual water. Now, we all know with the aquatic update that kelp can turn water into source blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bucket of water. And again, I told you, you only need 1 bucket of water to do this. And we're going to get up as high as we can get. And we're going to drop that down. Now we're going to put our kelp. We're going to break the top one off. We're going to grab our empty water bucket. And we're going to grab that water. Now we're going to do the same thing. break it, grab the water. There we go. All done. And now these are all going to be source blocks. So as I come down here, and right there's how I know that they're source blocks now, because of those bubbles. So this is where the Java edition has a little bit of an advantage over some of the other versions, in that we can put items in our offhand. Okay. Now, is it possible to do this with the Magma Block there? Yeah, you're going to want to go the opposite direction. You're probably going to have to do some wonky things, like throw a regular block on top of the Magma Block, go all the way up and knock it out. In Java Edition, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this Magma Block in my offhand. And as I'm breaking this, as soon as this breaks, I'm going to right-click and dump my Magma Block there. Just like that. You're doing it fast enough that the water doesn't have a chance to get down into your redstone, because I think we can all agree that water getting down into this could be a disaster. Okay? But that is it. It's completely built. So now when you step on this, it's going to reverse. The bubbles are going to go up. And as soon as it's done, once it's hit its cycle, it's going to change back to the Magma Block. And now you're ready to come right back down again. I hope this is something that you can use in your base. Credit where credit's due. Again, this redstone was originally designed by Bumbo Jumbo. I'm not sure if he got the idea from another person, but he is the first person I've actually seen using this specific block exchange system. And this works for anything. It doesn't have to be these water elevators. You can use that same block exchange system if you were doing a crafting table. If you wanted to put your crafting table under the floor, that's something you could do. The one difference with the crafting table is you're going to want to leave it open as long as you're standing on the pressure plate. So you might have to tweak some of that stuff. You can also use it for a couple other things. Like I said, it's really up to your imagination. And that's really is what's the best thing about this game, is while there is a lot of stuff to think about, especially if you're playing with the redstone, if you're going to sit here and you're going to go through and you're going to learn the circuits, learn the logics, learn the difference between the monostables, your pulse extenders, how the repeaters and the comparators actually work, everything else. Listen, there's a lot to learn. I mean, you could pretty much do a master's degree in electronics from this. If you like to just build, it's got that too. There's nothing stopping you from doing whatever you want with this. And that's one of the reasons I think this is such a huge success, is because at the end of the day, not only are you having great fun playing an awesome game, but you're learning things. Oh! So listen, guys, thanks again. Don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. We're going for... Listen, can we get 10 likes on this video? We're brand new. I'm not asking for the world here. So, listen, again, this is Diamond Doozer, and I'm out.